What are the things that those who have retired successfully and gone on to thrive in retirement, what are the common things that they've done really well? I'm going to share those 4 with you and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernardo, the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. We all want to have a successful retirement, however we define that, right? And so much of that is based on our finances. And are you set up to not only just get to retirement and, enjoy that surge and that transition, but to thrive throughout retirement without worrying and enjoying your golden age, however you envision it. Well, part of that, guys, I'm going to tell you, it starts with planning proactively. You guys know that there's 5 factors that are all interrelated that in and of itself, they build out your retirement plan, your ability to retire with confidence. First is age. Ideally, when do you want to be done working? And if you need to have a trade-off, what's an acceptable age as well if you can't reach your ideal age? That's the first. Second is, what do you expect to spend in retirement? What's your lifestyle? Included in that is, what are you going to do with Medicare? What will health insurance cost? What about taxes? Do you have any debt? As well as an inflation component. The third factor is your retirement income plan. How are you going to optimize Social Security? Will you have a pension? Are there other income sources? How are you going to structure your investments for income? All that's included there. Speaking of investments, that's the 4th area. How much do you have saved up for retirement? And between now and retirement, how much do you continue and plan to save annually? Is it 15%? Is it 10%? What's the company match? Are you funding a Roth IRA? Those sorts of things. And then lastly, the 5th area is how much risk you're comfortable taking with your investments, both during your career, but also as you transition into retirement. Do you see risk going down? Do you see going to very little risk? That influences the other factors as well. So those are the 5 factors. They're interrelated, and making a decision in one will impact your options, your choices in the other. And you've got to be doing that planning work in order to be on track and say with confidence, yeah, I'm on track for retirement. And for those that have done that planning work and have transitioned into retirement with confidence, what are some of those shared habits that have led to them then having a successful, thriving through retirement, having a successful retirement? That's what we all want. Well, with our years of experience here, decades of experience here, helping thousands of people retire, there's a few things that successfully retired folks have in common. And I want to share them with you now so that you can implement them, that you can plan for these as well. The first is they invest wisely. They have an investment approach that is consistent with their risk tolerance so that when there's market volatility, there's no staying up at night and worry and excess worry, I should say. But also their investment strategies are structured to align with their lifestyle and align with their retirement. It's sort of a two-sided coin. One is I don't know who would define successful retirement by worrying about their investments all day, every day, especially with what we're seeing right now with all the volatility. I would, it's okay to question and do we still have the right approach and so on, but those that have a successful retirement, they're really good at making sure that their investments are structured wisely and that they don't have excess worry or concern. And that's connected with ensuring that their investment strategies are consistent with their risk tolerance and time horizon. All of that, both of those, applying and achieving both of those objectives, that's found in our personal pension plan. And that is where you structure your investments based on the time horizon, when are you going to need them, as well as your risk tolerance, okay? So you should have 2 to 3 years worth of your withdrawals of your investments. If you're supplementing your Social Security or other retirement income with X amount withdrawal from your investments, you should have 2 to 3 years worth of that amount in low risk CD type ladder, CD ladder or money market type investment, so that if the market gets super jittery and volatile, you don't have to worry about, well, is that going to jeopardize my short term, and will I need to sell investments at a low point in order to continue to get the withdrawals that I need?
The next, 5 to 6 years or so after those first 2 to 3 years are in low risk, those are more in medium risk investments. Investments that the strategy is they can participate in some or most of the upside, but they've got some defined downside protection. These could be the hedging strategies, could be some income producing strategies, and that means that all the other dollars outside of the first 3 years and maybe the 5 or so after that, those are long-term dollars. Those dollars should be invested, whether it's 70-30, 60-40, 80-20, based on your own risk tolerance and comfort level. But those dollars are really there for the long-term, fighting inflation to keep up with the purchasing power of your dollars in the future. That wise investment strategy, those that retire successfully, they implement strategies like that so that they can both avoid worry in the short term, but also ensure that they've got the right structure for income and such within their investments for the future. Next, those that retire successfully and thrive through retirement ensure that their retirement spending, fits well within their retirement income plan. I hate to say it and beat this old drum, but living within your means, that applies in retirement as well. And I don't mean that in a restrictive way. Anytime folks say that phrase, it's often meant to say, well, see, you need to cut your spending. No. There's just awareness of what are our income strategies. Is that sustainable? Am I withdrawing an appropriate amount out of my investments? Have I optimized Social Security? And then do those income sources, does my lifestyle, the lifestyle that I want, what I find enjoyment from, does it fit within that income plan? Oftentimes, people, as they're building out their retirement plan, when we ask about and talk about, well, how much do you expect to spend in retirement? Often they will say an optimistic number. Let's say that a number that may be a fuzz short of what reality, lower than what reality actually will be. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, they want the plan to work, so they'll assume, I'll spend anything in order to be able to leave this job. I'll spend anything if it means you're going to tell me I can retire. That's one. But the other reason they tend to lowball or assume they spend a little bit less than what they actually do is, in retirement, it's 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. You typically during your working career, you don't spend as much on Tuesday as you will on the weekend, right? But what if you're retired and it's all weekend, right? You tend to spend a little bit more. So folks that retire successfully and thrive during retirement, we're honest and upfront and we're thorough about here's how much we expect to be spending in retirement, and does our income plan, optimizing Social Security, the ways we're going to supplement, does that fit within and does our spending fit within that income plan? Third, they beat Uncle Sam. People that have successfully retired have been planning proactively to outmaneuver Uncle Sam, both during their career, but it has extended into retirement as well. Tax planning, proactive tax planning has been a focus of theirs. And why is this so crucial for retirement? No one likes paying more taxes than they ought to, but why is it so important for retirement? Because the more wealth that you can keep in your pocket, growing tax sheltered for you, means that there's more resources there for your retirement, and there's a more confident retirement. So those that have successfully retired and thrived through retirement have been proactive about their tax strategies during their career, but also in the retirement. These are things like during their career, should they be funding pre-tax or Roth? What about HSA? Is the HSA a retirement vehicle or a health spending tool? Roth conversions, qualified charitable distributions in retirement, also strategies to avoid IRMA. These are all considerations that they've done with their CFP and proactively continue to do so during retirement to beat Uncle Sam and not have dollars slip out of their portfolio and through their fingers going needlessly to taxes. Another component of that we talk about all the time is having too much of your Social Security be taxable as well. There are strategies being proactive. There are strategies to reduce the amount of tax that you pay on your Social Security. And so working with your CFP to identify those early can make a big difference throughout retirement. And fourth, those that have successfully retired and are thriving through retirement are living with purpose. They know their finances aren't an end. They're a means to an end. It's there to support the lifestyle that they've envisioned. So whether that's more time with family, grandkids, more time traveling, it's a hobby, something like that. They've worked and planned their finances so that they can focus their attention on that new purpose. Maybe it's volunteering. Maybe it's having a destination home, something like that. For many people, it's spending more time with family, those relationships that are so crucial to life and happiness. But their finances have been planned and are set up structurally and appropriately to support that life and that purpose that they're envisioning in those golden years. That's what we want for you. That's what I want for you. A successful retirement that you're thriving through. Build that 5-factor retirement plan. Do these 4 things very well and work with your CFP. They can help you with all of that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well. Or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.